Zion says he wants to stay, but will he go instead? The NBA Finals just finished, and there's already off-season talk going on involving some of the biggest players on the market. The Lakers might be trading two of their stars. The Utah Jazz might be blowing up their team, and then you have someone like Zion, who was supposed to be the next chosen one, and yet has barely played in his first 3 seasons. That's why many are saying that he could be traded and have outlined all sorts of trades that could happen if the right pieces fall in place. Want to see some of them? The New York Knicks. We're going to name each team and then give you the potential trade deals here. And first up is the New York Knicks and how the rumored trade could go down. New Orleans Pelicans receive forward Obi Toppin, guard Alec Burks, 2022 first-round pick NYK, 2023 first-round pick NYK swap, 2024 first-round pick NYK, 2025 first-round pick NYK swap, 2026 first-round pick NYK. New York Knicks receive forward Zion Williamson. As some like to joke, you might refer to this as a Harden kind of trade, as in James Harden. But not when he went to the 76ers, but rather when he went to the Nets. Because in that trade, the Nets gave the Houston Rockets a lot of draft picks in order to get Harden, and the Knicks might try such a deal. They're parting with a total of 6 picks or pick swaps in this exchange. That's one less than the Rockets received for Harden. The Beard was an in-prime superstar without a laundry list of injury concern, so that's something they'll have to consider when thinking about a trade like this. With so many questions surrounding Williamson's future, his value is slightly depreciated. Plus, the Pelicans are receiving a promising young player at the same position in Obi Toppin. There is risk involved for both sides in this exchange. As painful as it is to say, the Knicks can't be sure that Williamson will ever overcome his health problems. They're potentially trading away their future for a hope that Zion can truly be as dominant as he was in high school and college. Meanwhile, there is always a risk incurred in acquiring draft picks. If Williamson does become the player he has the potential to be, all of these picks have a strong likelihood of landing outside of the lottery, which would obviously make the trade even riskier, as Pelicans would have to hope the Knicks do poorly consistently. Not an odd ask given the last 2 decades, in order to make the most of their trade. The irony, of course, is that the Knicks are in a bit of desperation play currently. They've been flirting with being a good team, as proven by the previous NBA season, where they made a run that landed them high in the playoffs with a group of misfits, but always seem to revert back to their old ways. If the Knicks want a true change, they need someone who can really bring that, and Zion might just be that. Houston Rockets. The Rockets have been in various trade talks with all sorts of teams, so here's the rumored trade breakdown for Zion. New Orleans Pelicans receive center Alperen Sengun, center Christian Wood, 2022 first-round pick Houston, 2023 first-round pick Brooklyn, 2025 first-round pick Brooklyn. Houston receive forward Zion Williamson. To be fair, the Rockets are as good as a candidate to broker a blockbuster for Williamson as any. As a franchise that has enjoyed consistent success in recent history, they'd love to accelerate their rebuild. An offense built around Williamson and Jalen Green would overwhelm opponents on a nightly basis. As for the Pelicans, they receive an interesting package here. Depending on who you talk to, Alperen Sengun is either a future superstar or a quality reserve. His blend of low-post footwork and prodigious passing vision titillates. On the other hand, his slow feet and short arms lend themselves to concern about his defensive potential. But with the right system, coach, and teammates, he could be just what a team needs to grow. Christian Wood is mainly here to make the money work. Still, the Pelicans could see potential in the 26-year-old. Questions about his character and defensive effort are prevalent. Still, he is one of the better stretch big men in the National Basketball Association. And if he's on the court, that makes him as valuable as Zion, given that Zion didn't play all season for the Pelicans. The Pelicans also receive a nice return of draft capital here. It's less than they're getting from the Knicks, but that might be better because they're getting people they can work with now versus hoping to work within the future. Miami Heat. This one might surprise some of you. After all, the Miami Heat were the #1 seed in the Eastern Conference and were in the NBA Finals a few seasons back, bubble playoffs. So you might think that they'd be immune for wanting to make a high-profile deal. But are they? Not really, given recent events. So here's the trade that they could make. New Orleans Pelicans receive guard Tyler Herro, center Omar Yurtseven, guard forward Duncan Robinson, 2023 first-round pick Miami, 2026 first-round pick Miami, 2028 first-round pick Miami. Miami Heat receive forward Zion Williamson. This deal will come down to how highly the Pelicans front office is on Tyler Herro. At 22, the current Sixth Man of the Year candidate still has star potential. At the same time, you'd have to be irrationally high on him to suggest he had the same ceiling as Zion Williamson. This is exactly why the Pelicans are again receiving draft capital here. They're also getting less of it than they do in the other packages. There are two reasons for that. The first one is that the Heat have fewer picks to spare. On the other hand, they're also giving up the young player with the most trade value in this piece in Herro. Omar Yurtseven isn't a mere throw-in. This season, the 23-year-old rookie has been a pleasant surprise, averaging 15.2 points and 15 rebounds per 36 minutes. He has the potential to be a long-standing rotation player in the NBA. Robinson is mostly a salary matcher. With Herro and Yurtseven both on modest rookie deals, the Pelicans are forced to eat his questionable contract in this exchange. He still flashed the potential to be an elite floor spacer in the NBA, even if he was having a down year in 2021-22. Still, this trade is highlighted by Herro and 3 first-round picks from the Pelicans' perspective. If their asking price is a young star and draft capital, they will struggle to do much better. Let's get right into the heart of this matter. A lot of people would have said that going into the playoffs, the Heat wouldn't make a trade like this. But when they faced the Boston Celtics in the Eastern Conference Finals, they got exposed in a variety of ways, and key injuries led to them losing in 7 games, with Game 7 being in Miami. Many considered that very embarrassing, and it should be noted that at the time of this video, the Celtics were leading the NBA Finals. Miami is no doubt tired of being the team that comes close but never gets to make it there. And it's been a long time since LeBron left the squad, and ironically, he was the one they lost to in the bubble. So they need to make a true name for themselves. Perhaps getting Zion will do that. Then again, maybe not. Zion State. Make no mistake, everything in terms of trades and non-trades will be focused on Zion Williamson and his health. When he is on the court, he's honestly very dominant. But when he's off the court, it tends to be for a long time. Just this season, the Pelicans said he would play in the first game, but he didn't participate all season. His injuries just didn't heal well enough, and then there was a weight issue that also marred things. This is very reminiscent of the big man curse that has happened to players like Greg Oden over their careers. They seem like they'll be dominant like players of old, but that's not always the case. No one wants Zion to have a short career, but we're in his 3rd NBA season now, and he's only just gotten past playing enough games to fill a single season. Now, recent events will tell you that Zion will want to stay in New Orleans if offered an extension, but that's a lot of risk and faith on the part of the Pelicans, so until he signs on that dotted line, his future is uncertain. So what do you think? What do you think of this look at Zion Williamson and how he might get traded to one of these teams should the right deal be worked out? Which of these deals do you think are the best for Zion and the teams that he might end up on? Or do you feel as though there's another team lurking out there that might just make a move for him? Let us know in the comments below, and we'll see you next time on the channel.